Good morning, student. Today we'll study about the diabetes mellitus in the pregnancy. So, diabetes mellitus. Diabetes is a chronic and the progressive disorder. So, as you all know that the diabetes mellitus condition is present in any person or in the pregnant women. So, that will lead to the chronic or the progressive disorders or any kind of complications. Then the term diabetes mellitus describes a metabolic disorders that affect the normal metabolism of carbohydrates, fat and the protein. So the diabetes mellitus, it's one kind of metabolic disorders which can affect the carbohydrate, fats and the protein metabolism in the body, and it is characterized by hyperglycemia and glycosuria resulting from defects in the insulin secretions or the insulin action or both. Means in the diabetes mellitus condition, the glucose level in the blood is increased and the glucose level in the urine, both conditions present, and that all are resulting from the defect in the insulin secretions or defect in the insulin action. Both reasons are there, and the diabetes is the most common medical complications of the pregnancy. So if the women having the diabetes mellitus, so it will lead to the any kind of complications during the pregnancy. Then etiological classifications of diabetes mellitus. So there are 4 types of the diabetes mellitus: type 1, type 2, then gestational diabetes and the other types. So type 1 diabetes mellitus, the reason behind that is immune mediated, means if the woman is immunocompromised, then maybe the chances of having the type 1 diabetes mellitus, or the idiopathic, that means the some reasons or causes of diabetes mellitus is unknown, and it is because of the excessive cell destruction or usually the absolute insulin deficiency. Means if the women having the insulin deficiency, though, so that condition will lead to the diabetes type 1. And then type 2, that is because of ranges from the predominantly insulin resistance to predominantly an insulin secretory defect. Means if any kind of defect is present in the insulin secretions or the insulin resistance, so that will lead to the diabetes mellitus. And then other types because of the genetic mutation of the beta cells function, and then genetic defects in the insulin section, and genetic syndrome like the Down syndrome, Klinefelter's or the Turner syndrome, and the diseases of the exocrine pancreas, that is the inflammation of the pancreas, that is pancreatitis or the cystic fibrosis. And then endocrinopathies like the Cushing syndrome, pheochromocytoma and the other disease condition related to the endocrine. And drugs or the chemical induced, that is the glucocorticosteroids, thiazide, adrenergic agonist or the others. Means if the woman is taking such kind of drugs or chemical, okay, so that will lead to the diabetes mellitus. And then infections like the congenital rubella is present, or cytomegalovirus or the Coxsackie virus, so that all conditions will lead sometimes the diabetes mellitus condition. And then 4th type is the gestational diabetes, that means the diabetes during the pregnancy. Then the diagnosis of the diabetes during the pregnancy. How will diagnose the diabetes condition during the pregnancy? So first is the overt diabetes. So the women with a random plasma glucose level greater than 200 mg per dl plus classic sign and symptoms such as the polydipsia, that means the excessive thirst, polyuria, that means excessive urination, and the unexplained weight loss, or a fasting glucose exceeding 125 mg per dl are considered by the American Diabetic Association to have overt diabetes. Means if we'll check the random plasma glucose level, if it is greater than 200 mg per dl in the women plus sign and symptoms like the polydipsia, polyuria or the unexplained weight loss is present, so we can say that the women having the overt diabetes mellitus condition. Or such kind of like the fasting glucose level, that is if it is exceeding more than 125 mg per dl, then it will be considered as the women having the overt diabetes. Then the diagnostic cutoff value of overt diabetes is a fasting plasma glucose of 126 mg per dl or the higher. So according to that, we can consider that the women having the overt diabetes. The next is the gestational diabetes. This is defined as carbohydrate intolerance of variable severity with onset or first recognition during the pregnancy. Here the word comes like the carbohydrate intolerance. Carbohydrate intolerance, that means it is the inability of the small intestine to completely process the carbohydrate into a source of energy for the body. So that is known as the carbohydrate intolerance. So what happened during the pregnancy time? If the carbohydrate intolerance are present in the variable severity with the onset of first recognition during the earlier pregnancy, so that is known as the gestational diabetes, and the entirety or existence usually present late in the second or during the third trimester. Means the gestational diabetes is mainly present during the second or the third trimester during the pregnancy. The next is the incidence rate of diabetes mellitus. So gestational diabetes mellitus affects the 7% of all the pregnancies, resulting in the more than 2 lakh cases per year, and depending on the population sample, the diagnostic criteria, the prevalence may range from 1 to 14%. Okay, so these all are the incidence rate of the gestational diabetes mellitus. The next is the potential candidates for gestational diabetes mellitus. Means who are the candidates or the women in which the chances of having the gestational diabetes mellitus. So first is the strong familial history of diabetes, means if still having the previous history of diabetes mellitus condition or the familial history. Or then next is the have given birth to large infant, that is 4 kg or more. If she has given birth of 4 kg or more. Okay, because in the diabetes mellitus condition, the chances of having the baby or birth of the baby is macrosomic baby, that means the increase in size or weight of the baby. Then demonstrate the persistent glucosuria means presence of glucose in the urine, and have unexplained fetal loss if she having the previous history of the abortion, or the reason is unexplained or the unknown, and the presence of polyhydramnios or recurrent vaginal candidiasis is in present pregnancy, or if the woman's age is the more than 30, or the advanced maternal age, or obesity condition, or the ethnic group like the East Asian or the Pacific Island ancestry, means if women are belongs from this area, or ethnic group like the East Asian or the Pacific Island. So these kind of candidates having the more chances of getting gestational diabetes mellitus during the pregnancy. Then the screening. So the plasma glucose level after a 50 gram glucose test threshold is best to identify women at risk for gestational diabetes. Means the plasma glucose level is after a 50 gram glucose test is done, so the level is best to identify women at risk for gestational diabetes. Okay, means by the plasma glucose level, if you are checking if it is 50 gram, so it will help to identify whether the women having the gestational diabetes mellitus condition or not. Then performed between the 24 and 28th week in those women not known to have glucose intolerance earlier in the pregnancy. So that test we can perform between the 24 and 28th week of gestation if the women don't have any kind of glucose tolerance earlier in the pregnancy condition. And evaluation is usually done in 2 stages. First is the 50 gram oral GCT, that means the glucose challenge test. Okay, in the glucose challenge test, what happened? In that it completes in 2 steps. In the first step, what done? The woman is asked or advised to drink the sugary solution, means sugar solution, and after the 1 hour after taking of dose of or drink of sugar solution, then again the blood sugar test is done, that is the glucose challenge test. Okay, then in the second step, 100 gram glucose oral glucose tolerance test, that is OGTT, if initial results exceed a predetermined plasma glucose concentration. So it is completed in the 2 steps. In the first step, we'll give the 50 gram oral glucose challenge test, and in the second 100 gram oral glucose tolerance test. The next is the gestational diabetes mellitus risk assessment should be ascertained at the first prenatal visit. So first is low risk, Blood glucose testing not routinely required if all the following are present. Means in which women the low risk of presence of the gestational diabetes mellitus are the first members of an ethnic group with a low prevalence of the gestational diabetes mellitus, and no known diabetes in the first degree relatives, means there is no familial history of the diabetes mellitus, or age is, if it is less than 25 years, and weight is normal before the pregnancy and weight is normal at birth, and no any history of abnormal glucose metabolism, and no history of poor obstetrical outcome. So in such kind of women there is a low risk of having the gestational diabetes mellitus condition. Then second is the average risk. Means in some women sometimes it will lead to the average risk of having the gestational diabetes mellitus. So perform the blood glucose testing at 24 to 28 weeks using the either two-step procedure that I have told previously, that is 50 gram glucose challenge test, and the followed by a diagnostic 100 gram oral glucose tolerance test, and the one step procedure, that is diagnostic 100 gram oral glucose tolerance test. By that we can identify the glucose level in the woman and confirm whether she will having the risk of gestational diabetes mellitus or not. Then high risk, perform the blood glucose testing as soon as feasible or suitable if one or more of these are present. If the woman having the severe obesity or the strong family history of type 2 diabetes mellitus, or the previous history of gestational diabetes mellitus, or the impaired glucose metabolism or the glycosuria, means the presence of glucose in the urine, and if the gestational diabetes mellitus is not diagnosed, blood glucose testing should be repeated at 24 to 28th week, or any time there are symptoms or signs suggestive of the hyperglycemia. So by that we can identify that the women having the high risk of having the gestational diabetes mellitus during the pregnancy. The next is the test should be performed in the morning after an overnight fast of at least 8 hours but not more than 14 hours, and after at least 3 days of unrestricted diet that is more than or equal to 150 gram carbohydrate and physical activity. Means whenever we are doing the glucose tolerance test or any kind of test related to glucose level, so that we should have to performed in the morning after the overnight fast, that will be at least 8 hours, not more than the 14 hours, and after at least 3 days of unrestricted diet. Then the subject should remain seated and should not smoke during the test. Okay, means the women should not have to be smoked during the test or remain seated, and the oral glucose load will be the time or the 100 gram glucose. So fasting, that will be 95 mg per dl, in the 1 hour 180 mg per dl, and in the 2 hour 155 mg per dl, and in the 3 hour 140 mg per dl. So by that all we can identify the risk assessment of the having the gestational diabetes mellitus condition. Then the effects of pregnancy on diabetes, means how the pregnancy condition affects the diabetes or lead to the diabetes condition. So first, very difficult to stabilize the blood glucose level during the pregnancy. So it is very difficult to maintain the glucose level if it is raised during the pregnancy. So it can't be possible to maintain the excessive glucose value during the pregnancy, and sometimes it will lead to the difficult condition or complications. And second is the insulin antagonism is probably due to the combined effects of the HPL, that means the human placental lactogen, estrogen, progesterone, free cortisol, and degeneration of the insulin by the placenta. Means the insulin antagonism. That means in that condition, effect of glucagon and the adrenaline are of rapid onset in that condition. So it is present because of the combined effect of the hormones such as the human placental lactogen, estrogen, progesterone, and the free cortisol. So that will cause the degeneration of the insulin by the placenta and lead to the condition of diabetes mellitus. And insulin requirement during the pregnancy increases as pregnancy advance. Means as the pregnancy is advanced by the increased gestational age, so the insulin requirement is also increases during the pregnancy time. And next is the, as more glucose leaks out in the urine due to the renal glycosuria, control of insulin dose cannot be met by urine test, and repeated blood glucose estimations become the mandatory. So if the glucose is excessively leaking out through the urine, that is known as the renal glycosuria, so at that time the control of the insulin dose cannot be made if the urine by the urine test. So for that reason we should have to conduct the again blood glucose estimation. That is very mandatory to do this kind of test. Then ketoacidosis can be precipitated during the hyperemesis in early pregnancy and infection and the fasting of the labor, and it can be iatrogenically increased by beta sympathomimetics and the corticosteroids used in the management of preterm labor. Okay, means in that condition, if the women having the drugs such as the beta sympathomimetics that is given to prevent the condition of preterm labor, or the corticosteroids, so that will increase the chances of having the diabetes mellitus, and insulin requirements falls significantly in the puerperium. Means during the puerperium time insulin requirement is falls significantly, and vascular changes, especially the retinopathy, nephropathy, coronary artery diseases and neuropathy may be worst during the pregnancy. So at the time of pregnancy such kinds of situations or conditions are present, like the vascular changes and like the retinopathy means damage of the retina, damage of the kidney, and coronary artery disease or the neuropathy, damage of the neurons. So that will cause the pregnancy condition very worst.